What is actually this talent for big data is all about? So the underlying theory or the underlying thumb rule is nothing but it's actually a graphical abstraction layer which is sitting on the top of the Hadoop applications. Now obviously because of its standard architecture where we do not need to know the MapReduce programming at programming level, so that makes life in the big data area so easy, right? Talent for data integration or talent for big data, these two software, after you download them, you need to access this software from your Windows platform. Alright. Now this particular big data or the virtual sandbox area, obviously that's a separate machine altogether, right? And because of the restriction in primarily on Windows platform that we cannot run two operating system hand in hand, we require this virtual machine, this VM. So we will use this VM to we are using this VM to make the Hortonworks sandbox or any big data sandbox accessible and up and running while still being on the Windows platform. Okay. So now what Windows is going to do, Windows is going to run Talend, but at the same time it is also accessing the big data node or big data cluster, which is up and running in the same machine, but it is residing in a different server. So in order to access that particular box, you need virtual machine. So this big data or this Talend is going to connect to the big data via the virtual machine, and they both the entities or both the interface are going to talk with each other. We have this Talend for data integration and Talend for big data on our local machine, which is maybe your desktop or your personal computer or your laptop. Alright, that is there in the local machine, which is on Windows. Now we also need a big data setup, right? To which Talend need to connect and they need to exchange information between each other. Talend need to give an instruction to this box, the way how the big data programs are going to work. So they obviously need a communication layer between them. Now this big data sandbox is again a separate operating system, or it's a separate server, right? Because of the restriction in any operating system, you cannot run two operating systems hand in hand without use of any third-party interface. So what we are doing here is we are using this Oracle virtual machine to get this job done for us, because we cannot run what you call CentOS or Linux operating system and a Windows operating system parallelly at the same time from the same machine, right? At the same time, we cannot log in to both the environment. Now, in order to achieve that, we are running this big data virtual sandbox, which is Hortonworks sandbox, through the Oracle virtual machine. And how do you configure, what to set where, has all been covered in the installation document. So please refer the installation document, guys. In case if you still have any issues, please get back to me. Alright. So that is more or less our environment, the technical environment, which has been exclusively made for you, so that you guys can do a lot of hands-on, not only during the entire course curriculum, but also after that. If you have anytime any issues, since you already got the environment, and it is let me tell you guys, this is not very easy. This kind of environment setup and getting the information right is not very easy, which I had figured out exclusively only for you guys, so that you get that proper look and feel of the big data environment while still not be doing the encoding or the programming, and avoiding doing the MapReduce programming and doing it in the smarter way. Okay. Yeah, let's resume to our slide. Now, yeah, so what was this Talend on big data was? It is actually a graphical abstraction layer on top of the Hadoop application, which makes life so easy in the big data world. Now, we get to meet a lot of clients in the industry from the big data. We get to propose a lot of proof of concept. We help them with their big data projects, and this comes very often to us. Okay, the surprising stuff about the current buzz and the question heralding the end of the ETL and even doom is actually the lack of pushback and analysis of some of the outlandish comments made. Then why this I have this in slide is because when this uh, Hadoop or this big data came to the market or came into existence, and when people they started using it, they have some of the people they have made some comments that okay, big data is capable of doing this, big data is capable of doing that, so probably this is going to almost completely reduce the demand of ETL or reduce the demand of business intelligence technology completely from the market, which is completely untrue. Okay, why? I come from an industry where we do understand the data. We come from a data science in the industry, we come from a data analytics industry, so we understand the data end to end. As soon as it originates till it make its place to the senior management dashboard or for any kind of data analysis or anything like whatever it is final target system. So in these kind of scenario where the control or the integrating, how do you integrate your data, how do you transform your data, and then how do you represent your data, all these controls still lies with ETL and business intelligence tool. And in those cases it really doesn't matter that if big data is capable of analyzing and storing it, but remember it, integration is still a key area. How do you represent your data? Once your data is represented and properly come to a platform, then we talk about storing and then further analysis. Now the typical assertion is that Hadoop eliminates the need of the ETL. Seriously? No. Hadoop and ETL are actually complementary tool to each other. That is one of the reasons we have designed this course in such a unique way, as I was saying, right? Which makes learning the Hadoop, or which makes the learning curve of the Hadoop so easy, because we do not need to do hand coding. See, different people may come from different background, right? Different people may come with different expertise. Some of you might be starting up the career, some of you might be already working on some technology, some of you might be working as project manager. So whatever may be the case, at any stage, doing and learning it in programming way is always not an easy game. But doing it in ETL Hadoop, which is more or less doing the Talend Hadoop way, is the most smartest way, as I understand, in the market. And Talend is one of the first to design any kind of graphical user interface on top of big data, which makes learning within the big data, expertise within the big data, doing end-to-end projects within the big data so easy. Okay? So what no one seems to question in response to these sort of comments is the naive assumptions these statements are based on. Of course, is it realistic for most companies to move all their data into Hadoop just like that? We will also see those use cases. We will also see, we will also do hands-on when we'll start with the big data labs and big data hands-on. That this is still an unaddressed issue, that if your enterprise is up and running in legacy and some support system is running on, say for example, ETL, then big data just cannot come and just play and play just like that, and data just go on the fly and sits on big data Hadoop area. It takes knowledge, it takes effort, and that is the area where ETL professional with big data knowledge or big data professional with ETL knowledge are the most demanding ones. That's a very niche area, and that's an area where each industry, the phase each industry has to go through. ETL with big data, right? ETL with big data. Now this modern data integration tools and platform, they obviously ensure the timely, trusted and relevant, secure and traced manner, right? Now what happens, this modern integration technology obviously use the optimizers to process the information in both scale up and scale out architecture. They push processing into the database management system and push processing not just data, but sometimes they do into Hadoop. Also, like a broker, they publish a data layer that abstracts the processing such that multiple applications can consume and benefit from the secure and curated data set. Now obviously, by now we would have understood that ETL no doubt need to continue to evolve and adapt to developer preferences and the performance, scale and the latency needs of the modern applications, correct? So that is the reason we say that Hadoop is not going to kill any existing technology. It is some or other way is going to complement these technologies, right? Now, especially since Hadoop deals primarily in data storage as well as data retrieval, so one of the primary area where Hadoop is going to be complementary is ETL area. ETL have all these capabilities of integrating the data very smartly and very strongly. Now Hadoop within the MapReduce programming or Hadoop or the big data, even though it stores the data efficiently and even though it retrieves the data efficiently, it never discloses how smartly it is going to handle this unstructured data, how smartly it is going to handle those database data, how smartly it is going to handle my fixed rate or my positional data that comes from most of the banking and credit card industry, which is mainframe systems, right? Now Hadoop, as we understand, is just another engine upon which ETL and its associated technology, like as Manish was saying, someone was saying, I believe Lakshmikant was saying, we have data quality, we have master data management, we have data profiling that can run along with it. These are the areas which are still very much needed within the industry, but I believe these are not one of the primary areas that Hadoop or big data they address. Now renaming what is commonly referred to as ETL, or worse, ignorantly, dismissing the data challenges and the enterprise-wide data needs is just irresponsible. So this is more or less what we are discussing right now is, if anyone after the end of this course, or maybe if anyone, you need to justify to any of your colleagues or any of your participants, even further to take up this course or to convince them why you have taken up this course, this is the reason. Why ETL with big data? What is it which is there in ETL which is complementing big data? And what is it in big data which is complementing the ETL? And why the combination of these two are complementing the ecosystem? Now this slide answers some of the myths or some of the outlandish comments which is which is wide across and spread in the market. If you tomorrow Google about what is Hadoop with ETL, or how ETL is doing with Hadoop, or how do we learn Hadoop using ETL, all that concept, you would get to know most of it. That is writing a ETL script in MapReduce code still a ETL, or it's a MapReduce code? Yes, it's still a ETL. Even though on back end the automated code generation is still a MapReduce programming, but who cares? As long as I do the same thing against my competitor, or against I'm Mr. X and my competitor is Mr. Y, we both achieve the same target. He takes 2 hours, I take 5 minutes, so obviously that makes me more efficient. How am I doing sometimes really doesn't matter when the client or the industry is more concerned with the outcome product, right? So is writing ETL script in MapReduce code still ETL? Yes. Now is ETL running faster in few cases and slower in others on Hadoop eliminating ETL? No, it never eliminates ETL. Now is introduction of Hadoop changing when, where and how ETL happens? Yes. Now if you see these three combinations, you will get most of your answers within this area. So the question is not really that are we eliminating ETL, but where does ETL take place, where it is needed along with Hadoop. Only learning Hadoop and big data is not going to solve the purpose, and how are we changing its definition. Now you guys tell me, if you are a Hadoop big data professional within your organization, you really are good in your subject matter, alright? You know how to store the data efficiently, how to retrieve the data efficiently. You are good at that. Now imagine anytime you are having challenges within the Hadoop, that the data which you are actually going to store within the Hadoop, you have no clue about this data. So anything goes, anything happens wrong to the integration of that data, to the quality of that data, your scope just ends there, and you are just becoming another dependent party or another dependent team on the data quality or data integration team. Whereas on the other hand, if you possess the capability, or if you possess the skill set of integrating the data, and at the same time also knows how do I store and how do I retrieve the data, that makes you the key resource who understand the end-to-end flow, and you become a very key contributor in your organization in terms of your scope, in terms of your knowledge within the data area. That is what makes this this kind of model or this kind of learning framework so unique and so demanding. Now obviously some of you might already be aware, some of you might not be. What is ETL? In ETL, it represents the ability to consistently and reliably extract the data with high performance and minimal impact to the source system. And the T represents the ability to transform one or more data sets in batch or in real time into a consumable format. And L represents loading the data into a persistent or a virtual data store. Now this is which makes the ETL combination so cool, that this ETL becomes a complementary area to the big data or Hadoop, because ETL is the primary what you call as a primary teacher, which is really which gives that upper hand on the data integration or the data quality, or as you said, the MDM, all this kind of area. And these are the required and inevitable area. Even though we start with big data, we address the challenges of storing and retrieving and processing, but most importantly, we don't address the challenge of the data. So the data, as soon as it comes out from its native source system, what I mean by that is, as soon as the data gets extracted, as soon as it originates from the source, that is when this ETL knowledge along with the big data comes so handy. Alright. Now this slide says why ETL plus Hadoop, or more importantly, why Talend plus Hadoop. Now, how does learning ETL along the big data is addressing major business problems? If you see this slide, this talks about the Talend's unified platform and suite of products. Talend comes with their core product called data integration. It comes along with data quality, big data, master data management, enterprise service bus, and recently they have also launched business process management. Now this combination of the entire suite of product is something which makes Talend really unique in the technology industry or in the big data industry, because these are all complementary and these are all advantage along with learning the big data. If you know your data integration area really well, which we are going to cover in the next modules, then learning the big data, by the time we finish up the data integration, you would realize that you have almost covered 60% or 70% of big data area without actually learning the big data. That is the what do you call, the part which I like most in Talend for big data. Talend for big data is not just another new programming language that you need to learn, like Hive or Pig or Phala or Mahout or Uzi, like all these state-of-the-art technology which are mushrooming day by day. But big data, once we'll start with big data, you would realize that knowledge of this data integration is something which is actually helping you scaling up in big data in minutes. That is why Talend in their website, they feature and they challenge that you can go from 0 to pro just under 10 minutes in big data. Yeah, that's right. So along with this suite of products, as you see, we have big data, we have data integration, data quality, MDM, ESB, BPM. It makes Talend such a strong, such a strong product or technology in big data area, because it already supports so many complementary functionality for the data, that learning Talend for big data is obviously a very quite a correct decision. So see, obviously, as we understand, Talend for big data is one-stop solution. Why? First of all, as you could have already understood, that from the download, you can download this and you can use this. This is not a trial version. This is a lifetime licensing. Yeah. It's an open source ecosystem. As you see, some of you, as you say, some of you have already done the Hadoop Big Data course, but do not really find MapReduce programming really interesting. I'm pretty sure you will be very excited to see that what you are able to do in few hours in MapReduce programming, you are able to do in few minutes in Talend for Big Data. Now see what all areas it complements. if you have anything, I believe some of you might heard about this term called scoop. Have you guys heard about the term called scoop? Yes, no? Yes, okay. Few of you have heard. Yeah. No. Okay, no. I have done big data. Okay. That's great. No. Yes. Yes. So some of the people are aware and some of the people are not. Okay, so just that we all would be in sync. What is scoop? If I have any data in my traditional relational database management system, say for example in my Oracle database table or in my MySQL table or in my DB2 or my SQL Server, if I want to take that data out directly from my RDBMS and put it into my big data area, which is Hadoop area, into SDFS, I do not need any intermediate steps. I can directly bring the data from the table and push it into SDFS. That framing work or that framework or that language or that technology is called Scoop. And now, what is Hive? Hive, as someone was saying, who was it? Rafim, yes. Rafim was saying, you already have PL/SQL knowledge, right? You will understand that whether it is Scoop or whether it is Hive, your existing knowledge on PL/SQL or on database will be really helpful when we will start covering the Hive. And what else we have? We have in this slide, we have HBase, we have Pig, we have Uzi, the scheduler, and if you see, Talend Open Data Solution is one-stop solution for all, right? And this particular slide also features that it supports all the leading market vendors in the big data area like Cloudera, Cottonworks, Mapr, Greenplum, and what we use for our session, for our hands-on is Cottonworks. All the three are quite renowned one in the market. Why Cottonworks? I felt it's very easy to use for any new person who is learning or trying to learn big data. Cottonworks platform or Cottonworks interface is very easy graphically. I will also showcase today the graphical user interface of Cottonworks, and it's very easy to use. Alright. Now why Talend along with this product is making this such a unique combination, such a easy technology to learn and excel in big data, improves efficiency of the big data job design. It really doesn't need to do MapReduce programming. Abstract, and it generates the code on the back end. It runs the transformation inside the Hadoop. It has all the native connectivity to HDFS, Scoop, HBase, Mahout, and Pig, Hive, and it MapReduce code generate on the. We do not need to generate or hand code the MapReduce program, but it is the job of the tool which does that. And it's embedded in Cottonworks data platform. It's certified also along with Cloudera, Mapr, and Greenplum. Let's move to the next slide. That's it. So why Talend? This is what is coming from the mouth of the Talend Corporation. The Talend Corporation came into picture in the year 2006, US-based company. But even though they have not spent a very significant time in the market, but within their small presence, they have made significant client base, and you might not be surprised to see within your current organization or within the other organization to see that there are many projects where people are migrating, where enterprises are migrating from their existing technology like Informatica, Data Stage, like Ab Initio, like ODI, like OBI. People are migrating from these technologies straight away into Talend. Now why? There are a few reasons. The primary reason is like there are almost like no such tool in the market which offers so much of flexibility and versatility in terms of job design, in terms of big data connectivity, in terms of data integration, in terms of data quality, in terms of master data management. Second, in terms of licensing and cost, they turn out to be, as per the Gartner magazine, they turn out to be cheaper than the other vendor. Their technical support good, their forum or the community is good, and the best part is most of the thing you can do hands-on by just downloading their Open Studio version, which we would be using in this class in and out extensively. So imagine if any product which is giving you a lifetime package, not just a trial version, and in fact you would be surprised to know that we have in fact developed product, we have developed applications using Talend Open Studio for data integration. So I was really impressed with the kind of features that Talend has to offer in their open source edition, and it's a great tool. And what they say, the company has to say is, because the more connected the world becomes, the more quickly a business must adapt. Now this shows a very small screenshot of one of the job that I had developed in Talend for big data. If you see, Talend Open Studio for big data 5.5, that is what we are going to use for our training. I created a project called training for big data, and this is just an overview screenshot of how does this tool look like, a look and feel. And what you see on your screen is actually typically called a job, Talend, and what you see within that, these jobs are called the components or the transformations. This is a typical pig job. Without writing any pig scripting, we can do fantastic pig coding end to end just within minutes. Alright. Now yes, of course, we need to understand when you need to convince or you need to get some projects on board in your current enterprise or current organization, or when you need to reconcile your decision of learning big data in Talend way, or when you know that of course you learn the big data in the smarter way, then obviously this question has to be addressed, that why Talend? Talend is the only graphical user interface tool in the market which is capable enough to translate an ETL job to a MapReduce job. Thus, the Talend ETL job gets executed as a MapReduce job on Hadoop and get the big data work done in minutes. The smart way of doing the big data. Now, this is a key innovation which helps to reduce the entry barriers, like we have in our class, entry barriers in big data technology people, and allow the ETL job developer or anyone who is new to ETL or big data, whether it is beginner or advanced, to carry out the data warehouse offloading to a greater extent. Now why it does so good? Because of its Eclipse based graphical workspace, Talend Open Studio for big data enables the developer and the data scientist to leverage the Hadoop loading and processing the technologies like SDFS, as I said, Pig, Hive, without having to write Hadoop application code. That is one of the underlying base reason why this way of learning Hadoop or this way of learning big data is so easy. Hadoop applications seamlessly integrate within minutes using Talend. So when we will start doing hands-on in big data, you will start doing transformation, you are going to solve complex business requirements under your assignment using big data. You would realize that yes, it comes on board with a lot of exciting features. It just serves the big data requirement through it, as an industry challenge just in minutes. So it's going to be a rock and roll ride, exciting ride during the course. Okay, let me check any question answer window is there. All right, no, nothing as of now. That's great. We're going good. Let's move to our next slide quickly because we need to finish up module so that we can start hands-on. Okay, Simply selecting the graphical components from a palette and arranging them and configuring them, we can create a Hadoop MapReduce job just in minutes. Now loading this data into the SDFS, Hadoop distributed file system, and then we use the Hadoop peak to transform the data in SDFS, load this data to Hadoop Hive based the data warehouse, then if required we do a ETL or a ELT, and then we leverage also if required the scoop to integrate the relational database in Hadoop. What is it that is not possible using Talend for big data? All of it.